NOS supporting UBC StarCraft. I saw a box of it. Gonna have to get my hands on that pretty soon here.
Yeah, I'm drinking a Rockstar as we speak, so I came prepared.
Antigua Shipyard, really cool map. You know what? There's actually mixed emotions about this map. I like it. Some people kind of have a different feeling about it, but on this GSL version, I do not believe there's any gold minerals. Actually, I think they're just blue, and yeah, we're getting confirmation that they are just blue. And it's interesting to see GSL kind of take that move, especially with the patch notes. But I digress. I'll let you introduce the players, bro.
Yeah, for sure. So we do see in our bottom left, we have our Alberta player. It is okArchaic. And in the top right, we have our yellow Terran. It is representing British Columbia, StaLighT.
Yeah, StaLight, just joining the team light. Choosing to build, both of them are actually building the supply depots at the ramp. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes they can be scared of siege tanks. We got to watch where they're going to place their racks. That'll be kind of interesting. Also, gas timing is huge in this mirror matchup.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And like you were saying before we started the other match, how TVT generally goes, it used to be a very boring matchup. And I used to be like, oh, TVT in a finals or something like that. And you're like, oh, I wish that this had gone another way. But definitely now an exciting matchup for sure.
Gas before racks for our purple Terran TQ from the team TQ. That's definitely an indicator, but it doesn't really define what you're doing. It could be really quick Blue Flame Hellions, could be Blue Flame Hellion drops, could be Banshee. There's actually a lot of different openings. There we see StaLighT's going for much more of a standard build, getting that 12 racks, 13 gas.
Yeah, like you said, the early gas is just going to give them a lot of opportunities to tech, and we can't really tell exactly what's going to happen quite yet, especially myself. I play Protoss, so I'm leaving it a little bit up to Cold SC here to, give our little Terran enlightenment. But yeah, we will see shortly which path these guys are going to take.
Immediately saturating the gas. We're going to have to watch if okArchaic actually goes for a second gas. That could be a big indicator. He did go for the early gas. But not actually getting an orbital yet. We'll most likely get the orbital after that 16 food right there. A little bit actually kind of skipping the orbital, just continuing to get out SCVs. I'm not 100% sure what build you skip orbital. Orbital's generally very good all the time, but actually a factory going down. Oh, wow. So again, there is still options from this, but still not getting the orbital.
Yeah, interesting. Like I said, I don't play Terran, but I would usually think that you get orbital just as soon as you can, just to get that first meal coming out. And we do see a Reaper coming out of StaLighT here, so look for some early harassment to go down for sure.
Reaper's huge on the Korean server right now. It's kind of was started over there. I know Sedsticks actually used it against me in a match that we played. It was the first time I saw it, and he kind of told me about it, and I've been seeing it kind of overseas, I guess you could say. It is popular to get those Reapers out in TVT and then expand behind it. Allows you to get a lot of scouting out and possibly kill some SCVs. You can kite the Marines. It's just a very good early unit, and it's funny to think how things like Reapers were never used in TVT before, but also if you think back to before Blue Flame Hellions were even considered good.
Yeah, no, exactly. When they did get, like, how they had the speed upgrade, and then they took away the capability, you needed to get the factory first, right? So they definitely did grow a lot less popular after that, but in this TVT matchup, they have definitely emerged once again. And like you said, I really like the Reapers. Like, they're definitely a lot of fun, and we do see a tech lab coming down on the factory, and the starport just finishing now.
Could see some Banshees, but there's very good Marine placement right now. Could be expecting those Reapers. There's actually 2 Reapers and an SCV moving across the map, so that's a bit of an aggressive move, and not jumping up into the gas, which would be the most likely place. Probably figuring that would be easily seen. But if we look, there's a bit of an engagement going on down here, and actually Reapers can counter Hellions. You'd be surprised, but one-on-one, a Reaper can beat a Hellion.
Yeah, no, that was some sick micro coming out on those Reapers from StaLighT. And we do see his expansion is actually just finishing up here in his natural, and he is looking to be in a good economic position. If he can hold what okArchaic is going to try and throw at him here. It looks like one Banshee is about halfway done, and he is pumping out a couple Hellions.
Absolutely, and expanding behind it. So the Banshees are going to be huge right now with how much damage they can do. Another factory going down might be seeing mech, but these Reapers are going to jump up in the base. How much damage are they going to be able to do? There is 2 Marines here and some weak Reapers. One Reaper goes down before doing anything. The next 2 Reapers can clean up, but are at very low HP right now.
Yeah, wow, I thought he was going to jump up there and those Marines going to catch him off right away, but he did a good job. Oh, and then they go down. But anyhow, he did scout that there is that Banshee out for Archaic, so that's good news for him as well. We don't see any Cloak on the way. He's just going to continue to push out a couple Banshees. And we do see the natural for StaLighT being saturated right now.
I would like to see an engineering bay being thrown down. He's getting out a ton of Marines, so you're going to want that engineering bay eventually for those upgrades, and also just to get out a turret. StaLighT isn't 100% sure if Cloak is going to be on the way or not. He might have noticed the Tech Lab wasn't researching, but it could have... Well, actually, really, with the timing, it would have been really hard to have it done. But looking at this engagement right now, 2 Marines versus 2 Hellions and a Banshee is not going to work out. How is StaLighT going to deal with this? If we go to the Units tab, there's only... how many Marines? There is 10 Marines. We're going to see how he uses these. They do have Combat Shield, but no Stim right now.
Yeah, exactly. If he micros these Hellions perfectly, which he loses both, right as I say that, and he might actually lose this Banshee as well, and good job by Archaic there, just going to retreat and cut his losses.
3 kills on that Banshee, can return home and repair it. We do see the Tech Lab now for the factory, another factory just going down, so we're going to see a huge macro-orientated mech style of play versus a bio style of play. I love seeing this in a mirror matchup. The bio is very agile. You use drops, you use your mobility, agility, and you also use your ability to remake quicker than the mech army, where mech is kind of a brute force, powerful build. And so it's great to see these 2 very different builds go head to head.
Yeah, exactly, and we do see the Blue Flame coming out, like you're saying, going with that mech build. A Medivac just started, so look for some sort of Blue Flame Hellium drop, I'm guessing. And we do see Stim almost finishing for StaLighT, and he is quite ahead on workers as it is. It is 32 to 24. So he is in a great position right now. He's definitely a little bit ahead. He had that expansion down. Archaic is just now landing his expansion as a natural.
Yeah, like you said, you know, he took a really long time to float it out. Stim is finishing. Stim takes an eternity as we see StaLighT going for his 3rd expansion. Gonna go play for a very macro-orientated build, not looking to end this game early at all. Wants to push this game to the end and really put this skill to make it the determinant of who's going to win this game, especially in a mirror matchup. There's no complaining about units.
Exactly. No, and we do see 2 Medivacs coming out here for StaLighT, and that's just going to add so much strength and versatility to this bio ball that he already has. He does have quite a few weak Marines in that ball, and he's actually going to head up to that watchtower, and Archaic is going to see this, see if he can get a couple pokes off, and wow, if that... Wow. Yeah, no, that could have been bad for Archaic.
Handful of Marines going down there. Double engineering bay coming out right now. Might be able to catch these Hellions off guard. Decent spread by StaLighT. Still taking a lot of damage. Blue Flame Hellions, you really got to be careful. They have been nerfed since they were originally, but they are very hefty units. And 1 Hellion is 2 Marines, so they're really not that expensive. They don't cost any gas. You can really pump those out, especially with the mules. Now, just looking at the money right now for both players, it looks like StaLighT's doing a little bit of a better job kind of staying on top of it, but he is allowing his gas to kind of fluctuate. Both players are kind of doing the opposite, it looks like.
Yeah, for sure, and we do see +1 weapons coming out for StaLighT, and look for him. Yeah, there comes the +1 armor as well, and we see Siege Tech almost finishing up for Archaic here, and like you said, it's very difficult to remember Archaic's name. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, I'm having troubles with that. But anyhow, we do see this Medivac is going to do some sort of drop. No, it's actually StaLighT that's going to pack up 2 Medivacs and send them into the main, and possibly do a little poke at the front as well.
There is Hellions right now at the front of the base running up the natural right now, and looking to kill some workers, actually. Going to run in here. All these workers going to attack. So many are going down right now. Just melting workers right now as he's doing his own drop. But shooting that engineering bay is going to allow Archaic to be aware of it. Tons of kills on those Hellions. Now these Mariners are running in here, killing the add-ons, actually, not focusing down workers. After this fight, we'll have to see how many workers were lost. Now he's running into the mineral line, starting to shoot the workers, but actually he's killing the supply depots, and those are upgraded supply depots. So that's actually going to hurt even more than normal, but not actually supply blocking Archaic.
Yeah, for sure, and I am just so surprised at how much StaLighT actually lost to those Blue Flame. He lost 25, and that is just a huge hit to his economy. That lead that he once had is now cut down. He's 3 behind in workers, so he does still have that 3rd base up. I do not believe that there's the 3rd command center up for Archaic yet, but yeah, he definitely needs to do some poking of his own, because he's not in the greatest position.
Yeah, like you said, snipe right there. Good job. But yeah, he's not in the greatest position anymore. Moving those SCVs to attack might not have been the best choice. Although he was in a lot of trouble, I don't think he had many troops to really deal with that. So he didn't have a lot of options right now, but he's going to have to play very smart, especially with a fragile bio ball. You really have to use that agility and that movement to kind of move around the mech army and do a lot of damage, but it looks like the mech army is the one doing the dodging and moving right now.
Yeah, and StaLighT was about to go and land that third base, and then something, yeah, he decided against it. I'm not seeing why, but we do see 3 Hellions coming up into probably the natural. He is going to check the third base first, see that there's nothing there, head up into the natural, see that there's way too much there, and decides to back away. Good choice by okArchaic there.
Tanks being added by StaLighT. If we look at the production tab, we'll see if siege mode is on the way. I'm not quite sure if it is, but we do see, a small engagement here. Hellions actually moving out ahead of the rest of the ball. StaLighT needs to pull back right now as the tanks are about to siege. There we go, making a good decision to get back. But really, sniping a Banshee there, but I'm not sure how much this bio ball is going to be able to do. Losing a bit of it right there to those tanks.
Yeah, exactly. Those tanks are looking to be very effective against that bio ball. It did look like StaLighT was just going to try and poke in a little bit before they got siege, before they sieged up. But we do see the third base floating over now. I'm still curious as to why he didn't want to show that earlier, but he indeed is dropping it now, and he's going to have probably a ton of mule speed dropping at that third.
Yeah, exactly. Production tab, if we could go to that just for 1 second. We do see a ton of Marines on the field, but production tab, so Banshees are continuing to come out. That's what I wanted to check for. The Banshees are still coming out. Tanks are still coming out. Both players still playing very stereotypically, and the third base being landed for StaLighT. I believe you mentioned that, Sprawl. Now, breaking down the rocks, that's a very good thing. Oh, getting scanned. But breaking down the rocks, you don't actually have to move in and do any damage here. Looks like he's going to fight anyways. I was going to say he could just make himself an entry point, but sieging up, and his bio is out too far. He needs to back up. He's taking too much damage to his bio right now, and I really don't think he's dishing enough. But a nice pickup right there. Really nice job, actually.
Yeah, and he's going to try and... what I thought he was going to try and do is drop on top of the tanks there, but it looks like he's just going to try and secure this third while he saturates his zone, and he's in a great spot because he can start muling up and just doing that kind of thing at his third base, whereas okArchaic is just stuck in a hard place.
He also has the food advantage right now. It is about 100 to 125, so that is really going in StaLighT's favor. The worker count is now completely evened up, and upgrades are coming out for StaLighT. He's getting 2-2 for his bio and getting 1 right now for his mech right now. But we see a drop coming in here, but it looks like it's going to be cleaned up by a mass amount of Hellions. But instead it's actually picked up and flown away, because with Hellions and tanks, you don't have much that can shoot the air, really.
Yeah, exactly. That was what I was going to say. He can kind of freely float that medivac around just because there's nothing that can literally look up. So he's kind of in a good position with that medivac. And we do see a third being constructed by StaLighT in okArchaic's own third. So I wonder, I guess he's going to turn into a planetary if it finishes, but there's actually nothing to clean up this Banshee that's coming in. As I say that, a bio ball stims and runs in, see if he can pick off that Banshee. Doesn't look like he can, but he's just going to try and hold his position out here. Interesting. GG by okArchaic. Wow.
Very interesting there. I'm not really sure what he was doing with that. We'll call it the fourth base. Not sure what happened there, but you know, it could have been a planetary, which could be a really interesting idea, or it could have just been some a manor base.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I think he kind of knew he was a little bit ahead, but yeah, I'm guessing it was just going to be a planetary there, and he's just going to siege up and kind of make a wall, and that would have been a little bit unbeatable, I would say, for okArchaic, because how are you going to get that third, you know what I mean? Especially, like, that's your path to your third. Like, you can't really take another base and be safe with it when he's got a planetary and siege line right there.
Yeah, exactly. 1-0 for Team British Columbia, but there's still 10 games left to be played. Very good players on both sides right now, so we are going to be back as soon as we set this up. We are going to be back actually with a ZVP right after we get it set up.